Here we go. Here we go. I'm a very excited boy right now. I'm a very excited boy. We're in the new studio, but we're gonna work here, and I'm just you and me. Let's tune in, baby. You and me. Woo, right here, right now. Why we hate loss. Welcome to Conscious Crypto. I'm your host, the headband hippie, Mr. Bassafras, dropping in some deep, juicy juice into this section here. Why we hate loss. Why we hate loss. So why we hate losing? Because when you lose, you die.
You die!
When you lose, something dies. Something in your world, your existence, has died. Now, whether that's your identity or your sense of being right, which is ultimately your confidence or your trust in the way that the world works, a belief within your belief system may die, and that pushes us into the unknown. And that is very uncomfortable. Just a reminder, like, subscribe if you like this content coming up here. I want to speak to the ancient pattern of survival. When man lost, when the Neanderthal lost something or lost in a fight, they died, right? They lost a tool or a weapon that they needed to hunt with or protect themselves with. They were more likely to die, often probably died. When they lost a partner to procreate with, the species lost the ability to live on, so we died. When a chief of the tribe, a leader, died, we lost a sense of certainty in our status, as well as potentially the ability to protect ourselves or conquer other lands. Something died, right? That ability or that certainty or that confidence or that safety. Something died. Find it. Loss equals death. Nowadays, loss typically means emotional pain. Now, we've advanced to such a point in our civilization that the things we lose are just luxuries anyways, like our washing machines, our dishwashers, even our showers. In my travels through Africa, I showered out of a cold bucket with my host family, and we cooked over a fire. So they're not necessities. Those are luxuries. Cars, luxuries. A lot of these things are luxuries we deem necessities in order to get our so-called job done. But if you had it taken away, I'm sure you would find a way to continue to live. It wouldn't kill you. So I wouldn't call it a need or necessity. I would call these luxuries, or ultimately things we desire that are superfluous. They are of excess. So in this day and age, we now feel emotional pain.
Emotional, damn it!
When we have unmet desires, we feel emotional pain. When we want something and that want is unmet, unfulfilled, we feel emotional pain. Now, when our beliefs are challenged or a belief dies, it is lost, it is realized as broken, we feel emotional pain. Brother-in-law is a pastor, speaks to this thing called God hurt. And what that is you'll see it in movies as well. Cinderella Man, one of my favorite ones, when Russell Crowe's like, I'm all prayed out.
Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy bounty. Jen.
I'm all prayed out.
I'm all prayed out because the Great Depression had robbed him of being able to see the blessings, of being able to hold on to hope. His belief in a higher power, in God, was broken because he had been hurt, because the trust of that truth no longer proved true. I mean, how could it be true, right? Everything was being taken from him. His ability to fight, his children, his livelihood, his sense of manhood or providership, all of that is being taken from him. So how could he hold on to that belief in God? It was broken. So when our beliefs are challenged, we feel emotional pain. When our desires are unmet, we feel emotional pain. Okay? Now, understand this statement. Loss is a form of change, and change is a form of loss. Say it again. Change is a form of loss, Loss is a form of change. When something changes in your life, you've lost something. Now, we don't always feel as much emotional pain. Let's say you're changing jobs. If you're upgrading your job or you're going to a new place where there's a promotion and more pay and a better location, you're excited. Yes, you may feel a sense of loss of some of the things of your old situation, but ultimately you don't feel a lack. You feel totally fulfilled, reconstituted from this loss of the old job and all that incurred with it, and the new job that you just took on, or old relationship, and now go out there, try to find a new relationship. You're basically trying to reconstitute your loss or get back the old relationship, right? I don't know how you work in the romantic world, and it is a tricky, fickle beast. But for now, we speak to that nature of loss and change are almost one and the same, meaning that loss is inherent in change, okay? Something is lost, something dies, and ultimately something is reborn. That is the nature of change, because you can't create or destroy energy. So it's ultimately transforming through that cycle, that hakuna matata of life and death, or that circle of life and death. So if change is a form of loss and loss is a form of change, and we know that loss is inherent in change, then why do we feel so much pain around that? Because we fear the unknown, right? We fear the unknown. It's uncomfortable. It's unstable. It's new and unfamiliar. And we value our schedules and knowing what we're doing at this point in this time and this day and what food tastes like.
Quarter at 49, a quarter to half, 975, but it down here in 50.
Like, we value the consistency, and we often take it for granted until change arises and says, hey, guess what? You don't have your job anymore. And guess what? You can't go outside. You know, I don't know. It was crazy. And so we fear that. We fear change, and therefore we fear loss. It's often said that anxiety is just the fear of future pain, meaning that the anxiety is a projection into the future, that there's something going to change, something that's going to, you're going to lose a sense of safety, belonging, something, and therefore you're feeling a non-present threat, and that's where you generate your anxiety. It's future leaning, and that's the kind of mind we developed in our ancient patterns. But you're going to start doing some thinking of your own, and you're going to realize two certainties.
See, the sad thing about a guy like you is in 50 years, you're going to start doing some thinking on your own, and you're going to come up with the fact that there are two certainties in life.
That when you encounter loss, a tremendous amount of your energy will go into reconstituting or reclaiming or getting revenge against that loss. We love the movies. We love the John Wicks. We love the Avengers. We love the revenge. Oh.
And your son took that from me. Stole that from me. Killed that from me!
Puppy and your car were taken from you. You better go out there and kill everybody until somehow justice is met. And that's the reconstitution, the rebalancing that we perceive. And the other certainty is that you will likely, especially if you can't put your energy into reconstitution, reclamation, or revenge, you will put your energy into numbing out, into distraction, into suppression, into escapism. You will try to ignore your loss, avoid your loss. I can speak from my experience. We will do these through substances. We would do this through media, whether it's social or television or gaming. We will do this through other people, which actually might be a somewhat healthy initial path. And we just don't want to be with it. We don't want to be with it and learn to accept it. It's almost like a form of denial in the realm of grieving. And that's going to be a whole nother video. But I will speak to one thing, is that you must learn to grieve your losses. And I'll show you again in another video how we do that. But trauma is loss. Take a look at this quote from Adam Young, who's a psychologist out of Fort Collins, Colorado. But in this quote, the two things that we can really point out is what? Helplessness and abandonment. Helplessness is literally the loss of the ability to help oneself. And two, abandonment is that loss of safety and belonging that we get from our family and friends and community and tribe. When you lose those things, you feel the ultimate threats to your livelihood. And the social dynamic that we live in to this day requires connection, requires community. And we all learned that in 2020, 2021. We all learned that in 2020, that we do not do well in isolation, that we do need each other. We need connection. So if we don't address this loss in a true grieving process, then we will experience a trauma, and that trauma inherently will want to repeat itself in order to resolve itself. So when you approach a similar situation, you may act from the past experience and repeat the trauma over and over again, not even realizing it. Now I'm laying out some deep dish pizza type of stuff right here. So if you can't stomach it, I get it. If you can't wrap your head around it, I get it. But we're gonna go way deeper on this subject. I say cheers to you, my friends. I appreciate you dropping in. This is Conscious Crypto, where we are not like the other children. Please, if you enjoyed the content or found value in the content, like and subscribe, because that is what this channel is about. And that is what my upcoming Conscious Crypto course will be all about. It will be the prelude of doing all the inner work, mental and emotional, to build that clearance and mastery in order to begin trading in a way that turns the markets into your own personal ATM. A lot of love to the people. Namaste. We'll have to figure out a sign off. Toodaloo.